UK in rental crisis? It is. Let me explain why. According to 20CI, since 2019, there were 369,000 rental properties. Today, in July 24, we're now in September, but in July 24, there were only 276,000 rental properties for rent in the UK for UK consumers and UK renters. This is a massive issue for renters in the UK. And why is this an issue for us landlords? Well, we're selling up. We're selling up. We've had enough. And I want the Labour government to listen to this because you are hurting renters. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that have been happening that have been impacting those poor people who are looking for somewhere to live that is being driven by government change. Okay, it is being driven by government change. So, first of all, there's a dramatic rise in rental property being sold off, which I've just shown you there. And that's why there's so few. It's 25% less in just 5 years. Now, if that happened over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we'd get to no rental properties. Now, it would be okay if the government had been building millions of homes, but they haven't, have they? They haven't been building millions of homes, so people are struggling to find somewhere to live, okay? So, now I'm going to tell you something else. In London, 22% of the properties on the market in July this year were actually rented in the last 10 years. So you can tell now that landlords are selling up. They've had enough. So what are the things that Labour are selling up for? Labour, listen, because you are doing a budget at the end of October that is going to hurt landlords further, and the only impact is to hurt renters. Because prices for rental properties are going up to renters because there's less stock available. Now, you people who are renters, you may think it's because we're being greedy landlords, but it's called demand and supply. And if the government keeps reducing the supply of rental properties, then I'm afraid this problem is going to get worse and worse and worse. One of my people who I work with, she's a letting agent, she has 7 landlords at the moment. She only has about 15 landlords. 50% of them are looking to sell their stock. Right? So landlords are leaving. Why are landlords leaving? Well, the government taxes landlords differently to anybody else, and it's something called Section 24 tax, and the mortgages that the landlord pays, he has to pay tax on. Now, this is crazy, isn't it? Because mortgages have really gone up. That's one of the reasons landlords are exiting. They can't afford to keep the property unless they put your rents up. So it's crazy, isn't it? So you as renters should be lobbying the government not to force landlords out, because you as renters will have nowhere to live. And landlords, you need to hold on to your properties. The reason you did this was to there are bad landlords out there. I'm not going to say there aren't, but the majority of landlords are good people who want to help people have a lovely home to live in. That's certainly true for me and my family. We want people to have beautiful homes to live in. Okay, so what is the impact? There's less stock available. Less stock available drives up rental prices. Why? Because more people are competing. I was reading the other day somewhere that in Wrexham, there are 50 people applying, in Wales, Wrexham, 50 people applying for every rental property. This is crazy stuff, and it's being caused by government. So here's the thing. The Labour government are going to do a budget at the end of October that is also going to punish landlords. Shelter, right? You might be shouting that landlords are all bad, but you are wrong. We are providing homes for people to live in. And if we don't provide those homes and we sell those homes, where are those poor people going to live? Section 21 is disappearing. Now, Section 21 is not a major issue for landlords, but it is a major issue for renters, because the thing is, now those people who perhaps have antisocial behaviour, those people who are perhaps not paying the rent, the landlord will still evict them, but they'll evict them through a Section 8 through the courts. And what does that mean to the poor renter? That means they can't get anywhere to live. There are consequences to the actions of government. So I am calling here for the government to start to think about some of the things they are doing to tenants by hurting landlords. Because good people, there are bad landlords. I am not going to say that does not exist. And those people should be dealt with, but don't hit the whole industry just because of those few bad ones. Get rid of the bad ones, punish the bad ones. Don't punish everybody, because landlords are leaving the sector. There's less rental property, and the UK is already in a massive rental crisis. And after the October budget, my prediction is it's going to get much worse for renters.